up, everybody? It is I, Sigma, and we are back with episode 42. 42?
Yeah.
Of the BBET GamesCast. Is it 42? You know what? Let me double check real quick. I'm doing a lot of these. You know what? Nope.
I'm pretty sure
it
it's
is not episode
43.
42.
I'm pretty sure it's 43.
It is episode 43 of the BBET Gamescast. I'm joined by Mr. Gamer.
Hello there.
As well as Blue Bones.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy.
Yeah. Jeff is out today. He's hanging out with JJ, so he'll be back in the near future. But as we always do, we like to get started with a rundown of what we've been playing for the week. Anybody want to go first? I can if people have like.
Go for it, Sigma.
Okay.
Yep.
So I left this out of last week because the embargo hadn't lifted yet, but I did actually finish a kind of a walking simulator type game called The Shattering.
The Shattering. Okay.
I'm sorry, walking simulator?
Have you not heard this term before? Walking simulator?
No. Is this?
Oh.
Have you heard of Gone Home?
Yeah.
Have you heard everyone's gone to the Rapture?
No.
Okay.
But I've heard of Gone Home.
So essentially, Gone Home was the one that kind of popularized it. But it's essentially kind of a narrative-driven game where you as the player are walking around and experiencing things and reading a story or hearing a story, but there's not that much actual gameplay. Like, it's not like an adventure game where you're like maybe solving puzzles.
Story
yeah, and there are varying degrees. There are some walking simulators that are a little bit more gameplay oriented, like say What Remains of Edith Finch has like a lot more interactive elements and gameplay. But in general, it's mostly just an interactive story being told to you. So that some people consider it like a negative connotation, but there are some good stories to be told via that medium. So, you know, it kind of has its own
audiobook for video games.
So, yeah, a lot like that, honestly.
Yeah, except you just have to, hold forward on the joystick.
I mean, yeah, some are a little bit more involved than that, but yeah, for the most part, you don't do too much.
I thought it was like athletic walking, you know what I'm saying? Like
like an exercise game.
Yeah.
Like Nintendo Ring
What
Fit.
the heck? Yeah. Okay,
but, So, yeah, this is a story-driven game, and the premise is you are a dude named John Evans, very dull, basic name, and you're being subjected to hypnotherapy. So you're being put under the influence of hypnosis. Everything takes place in your head. And apparently your therapist is trying to help you uncover a bunch of repressed memories because apparently you've formed a bunch of false ones. And everything that you see when you're walking around, for the most part, is like the glossied up, rose-colored glasses version of like the real events. And so he's helping you kind of work through figuring out the truth of like your history. And like, honestly, I thought that was a really good premise. And it's something that really serves like a gameplay medium well because you can like have the world kind of lie to you, and you can like kind of play the role of an investigator and figure things out, solve puzzles that'll maybe reveal the truth of a story, but you really don't get any of that. What it does is force you to kind of just walk through, the area. You just interact with everything that's interactable, and for the most part, everything. Like, you can interact with a lot of things, but the thing that you need to interact with to move the story forward could be whatever. Like, you just have to wait until you find it. Like, there's really no context given to what you have to do to get to the solution. You just, there's a phone here, I mess with that. There's a piece of paper here, I mess with that. There's a drawer here, I mess with that. There's a door here. Okay, that's what I needed to do. I needed to touch the door. So it was kind of aimless in that sense. And then the other thing that kind of really sucks about it is that the story's not good. Like, it has promise, but it doesn't go anywhere. Like, everything is super vague. Like, like the name I gave you, John Evans. Like, blah. You know what I mean? there was
almost literally Joe Schmo. Like,
like seriously, like you couldn't give any more definition to what's happening here. Everything is so sterile, and like the story is so generic. It's like, he had a rough childhood. He had a tragic marriage. He had a job he hated. Like, he grew up in an orphanage. Like,
is this a really depressed dude?
Yeah, like the guy's depressed. Like, but it's like there's nothing to like hold on to. There's like no, like, you never see the guy. Say again.
No substance.
Yeah, like everything is just so flat and generic, and like It could be anybody's sad story. Like all I really got from it was they wanted me to feel like it's sad. Like stuff that's happening is sad, so I should feel sad, and that this guy had a rough life. And like,
was there light at the end of the tunnel?
Nah, not really. Because what they were going for was the light was at the beginning of the tunnel. It was supposed to be, look at how perfect everything is, but here's the raw truth. And it was like none of that was interesting because the perfect part of it was nice. Kind of generic, and then the rough part of it is very cliche. So it's like, okay, so if we're looking at a happy marriage, of course it wasn't actually happy. But they don't tell you what happened. Like they give you hints at like there's a bloody towel over here. There's like there's an electric chair in the closet, right? There's the idea that maybe there was never a girl to begin with. Like maybe he made the whole thing up. But it's like, but if there's blood everywhere, but then there was no girl to begin with, then why was there blood? There would have had to be a girl for him to have done something to a girl, right?
Self-mutilation?
But that's the thing. Like, there's nothing to tell you this. Like, there's nothing that gives you an actual story. It's just they just throw all the symbolism in the air and just say, do with it what you will. And that's not fair. Like, there are a lot of stories that leave things up to interpretation. This story just gave you it just threw a bunch of stuff at the wall and said, figure out what you want from this. Like, they never actually had a story to tell in the first place.
Right.
I'm gonna just give that an oof because because it's like I was listening to what you're saying and I'm trying to keep it together. And I'm like, maybe I just don't have enough caffeine going to my brain. But I'm like, this sounds like terrible.
Yeah, I did not enjoy it. I fell asleep a couple of times in the middle of the playthrough. And like,
wow, actually fell asleep.
Yes, like, like I really liked the potential that was there, but none of it came together.
Yeah.
But other than that, man, what was I just playing? I just finished another review and I can't remember. Okay, it's a game called Cloudpunk. This is another narrative-heavy game.
Cloudpunk. Okay.
But
is that a play on steampunk?
It is. It's a play on cyberpunk, steampunk, all of these kind of like world building things. Like it is a cyberpunk universe, but you play as a character, a Middle Eastern woman named Rania, and she just came to this super big, futuristic city called Novalis, and she's a delivery driver for a company called Cloudpunk. Like they deliver basically anything for anyone. Like their number one rule is just get your delivery on time, ask no questions. Yeah, you know what I mean. So you as the delivery driver, it's your first night driving. You're flying around the city in like a hover car. You're just going from point to point. Like it's very simplistic in what you're doing, but honestly, it sells atmosphere like a mug. Like really? The city is gorgeous. Like you guys know what voxels are. I was gonna ask. Right?
What are what?
Voxels.
No.
Think Minecraft, but like tiny. Like everything in the world is built out of like tiny squares.
Yeah.
So like a 2D pixel art game, except it's 3D. Everything has like depth. Like the world, the characters, the vehicles. It's stunning. Like you have to look at what this game looks like. Like the city is gorgeous. And like the voice acting from like the two main people you hear is pretty solid. Like they sound good. They sound natural when they talk to one another. A lot of other NPCs not so well in terms of the voice acting department. But like I didn't care that much about that because the story they told was actually super interesting because everything was kind of about the world. So like Rania herself has a little bit of a story, but there's no major goal for her. It's not like you need to get Rania to figure out this. You need to get her to make a certain amount of money, blah, blah, blah. It's really about she's come to the city. She needs to survive. It's rough out here in these futuristic streets. So she's doing what she needs to do to make money. So, like, she'll come across a situation where it's like, oh, I don't really want to do this, but they're offering me a lot of money.
Yeah.
And, like, you personally, as the player, like, you're not invested in getting her money for any, gameplay purpose. But you're invested because you know that Rania as a character kind of wants the money, so you make the decision on whether or not to do this thing. And there are a couple of instances where they give you the choice to like maybe do something a little unseemly because it's either to your benefit, but a lot of the times you're making decisions for other characters. Like Not to spoil anything, but there was a really funny and interesting situation where you pick up a human, and remind you, you're a delivery company, so that's not something you're really supposed to do. But he's considered property because he gave up his rights to an android and is functioning as the android's sex doll.
Wait, whoa.
But he legally gave up his rights?
Yes, he gave up all of his personal rights so that he could become the android's sex doll. So he's that android's property. So the company was like, okay, I'm delivering this property to this android. And so Rania kind of goes, well, that's not right. Like, you're a person. And he goes, well, I mean, I like my job. Like, I like what I do or whatnot. And so you end up with the choice, like, either take him where he's going to this android or, like, drop him off at a train station for him to, like, run away or whatever. But in that instance, I went like, well, this has nothing to do with me or Rania. This is his life. This is what he wanted to do. Just, mind your business. And there were a couple of instances.
Exactly, mind your business. A lot of people need to hear that nowadays.
Yeah, there were a couple of instances where, like, the moral choice they were giving you was based on your morals, but it was other people's lives. And, like, in those instances, I don't feel super invested. Like, the stories were super interesting. Like, I liked hearing what was going on. But for them to then leave that choice up to me as to what to happen, I felt like, okay, this doesn't really impact me that much. Cause,
got nothing to do with me.
Right, yeah, exactly. So other than that, there is a portion of the game where instead of, flying around in the car, you have to walk. Because when you land, you have to park at a designated location, and then you run around the city on foot to, like, pick up packages or meet with people or find collectibles that are hidden around. And, like, the area is, like, still very vibrant and beautiful. There are NPCs to talk to. You can get a bunch of side stories and, like, side missions from that. But it's very slow paced because you're literally just walking around. You can't do anything else other than walk and talk or pick up.
Yeah.
So that part of the game is a little tedious, but it still leads you to more story stuff, which is the good part. So I didn't mind it that much. Overall, like, I really actually enjoyed it a lot. I think you should definitely at least watch some of it if you don't intend to play it yourself.
I looked up while you were talking. I looked up on my phone some of the images and some of the videos, and it looks gorgeous. Just like you were saying.
It looks really
I definitely
cool.
need to watch a stream on this, or pick it up myself.
If I'm not mistaken, my review should be dropping today. If not today, at least some point before the podcast actually drops on Tuesday.
All right.
But yeah, check that out. But that's pretty much it for me. What about you guys?
What you got, Mr. Gamer?
So, actually, because the embargo has been lifted on the game that I've been talking about, I have been playing Stacks on Stacks on Stacks.
Okay.
I like that name.
What kind of game is that?
So think Tetris, but think a little bit more top down, definitely 3D, and literally the idea is that you have to just simply stack things on top of one another. So
like things or like
I'm sorry, like shapes, blocks, and things like that. Very, very fun little party game. It's
multiplayer.
Yes. It was a little available on Steam. I believe it's also coming to the Nintendo Switch. I believe. But yeah, this been following the developer for a while, and it was, I'm not gonna lie, I looked at it and I'm like, okay, stacks on stacks on stacks. Oh, okay, so this is like Tetris. But there's so many, like, the colors are so bright and captivating that you're just like, oh wow, okay. I don't know if any of you have played De Blob.
I actually just downloaded that for my son.
Okay.
He hasn't actually started it yet, but I'll probably have something to say about that in a little bit.
Oh, okay. Okay. But yeah, like it's a party. It's a multiplayer 3D top-down view of Tetris. And I got to say, for a nice little short game, it's actually just a lot of fun. Especially like during this quarantine, trying to play games that are little less stressful. Mm-hmm. Just because, the climate gives us things to be stressed about. So I had tons and tons and tons of fun with that. let's see. I've been playing a lot of Killing Floor 2 as well.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, I've been. I don't know what it is. I just feel like getting like it's. I re-downloaded it on my PC because I had like 17 different mods for it that I found out that I still had on my hard drive. Like, oh wow, like, oh, this mod's been installed. This mod's been installed. I'm like, oh snap, okay. Let me get back to this. Let's see what else. Because yeah, there's always Final Fantasy, there's always GTA. Yeah, because I feel like I'm always playing those. Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. What was the roguelike game you had? You know what I'm talking about?
The Wizard game.
Wizard of Legend?
Yeah, Wizard of Legend.
Okay.
Wizard of Legend. Found out, unfortunately, that does not have online multiplayer,
Yeah.
but the roguelike element is so fast that I don't even really feel like, oh crap, I have to start over. Like, for example, with Enter the Gungeon and Binding of Isaac, there's a decently long death animation. Like, you died, and then these are all the things that happen to you. But in Wizard of Legend, it's like, okay, you start at home, you go to the town, you see if you got to get things from the town, and then you go into your dungeon. You die from the dungeon within less than 5 seconds. Boom, you're back at home. Go do it again.
Start over.
So that element of that element of the roguelike is fantastic because there's not a whole lot of thought. You just get right back into it. Yeah, you died, but you also got some stuff. Let's get back into it. Boom, 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 boom. That part is absolutely fantastic. Absolutely love that. And finally, I started playing Diablo 3, but on my Xbox instead of my Switch.
Wait, you have it on both?
Yes, I bought it. I own Diablo 3 on the Nintendo Switch. I had that for a while, and then figured out some people were playing it on Xbox, and I'm like, you know what? Let's just see how it is. So I chose completely different characters this time around. I had a Demon Hunter, Barbarian, and Wizard on the Switch. So now I'm starting with a Monk, and I'm liking what I'm liking the potential with the Monk. I have a few builds in mind for her. But yeah, she's a lot of fun.
You played for like what, 20 minutes with us the other day and got to level like 18 or something like that?
Yeah. I think I'm on level I think I'm on level 20, 22, 23, something like that now. Because it's just like I'm just jumping right back into it.
That's cool.
So yeah, that's just about all I've been playing. Blue?
Sweet.
Yeah, so just like you mentioned, Gamer, Diablo 3 is back on the radar for whatever reason. Yeah,
that did kind of just randomly pop up in our group chat.
So one of our people said, "Hey, I'm playing Diablo 3. I just picked it up. I'm finally." Shout out to DJ. He had never finished Diablo 3, and he's like, "Okay, now we're in the quarantine. I'm finally gonna finish this." So I said, "You know what? I'm gonna help you out." Gamer saw we was jumping on it. I'm starting to get back into it. We're like, "Oh, okay." He jumps in. We got 3 people on the screen. It's a lot of fun. I'm running my Necromancer right now, who's the epitome of the blue bone skeleton.
Right. Like when you said Necromancer, I'm like, of course he picked Necromancer.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Just a skeleton man.
Obviously, my first one was the Witch Doctor. You know what I'm saying? Because, yeah.
Because he's a
witch doctor.
Just cause.
But yeah, then I went to Necro, and he's amazing. I just got a gang of people, an army. Like I like to say, I am the war. It's like they have their whole bunch of NPCs, and I got my whole bunch of NPCs, and they just clash, and it looks great. Now I haven't been playing too much out of the ordinary, but I've been fine tuning my Overwatch work. That being said. I love Echo, and I really feel like she's gonna get nerfed. I really feel like because
isn't that always the case?
Yeah, but they already nerfed her once, and you know the thing is, especially with Overwatch, I feel like they balance their characters a lot better than most other games, especially when they first drop. Right, you got the PTR. They do a lot of tweaking in the PTR, and then they come out to the rest of the consoles. So. This time, yeah, I definitely feel like she's gonna get nerfed, but I've been going off with this girl. I'm afraid of what they're gonna nerf, to be honest. Uh, it's just too. She's almost like choosing a random character because to play Echo effectively, you can in the heat of battle, you can become an extra healer, you can become a third tank, you become a third DPS, any of those.
I mean, you do
You
need
know what I
like
mean?
line of sight on her ults, right? Like it's not like
Bro,
you just
It's the
select
same.
from.
Well, it's the
as
same
fast
thing
as you can,
as Anna's as
Anna's
Anna's
ult,
nano. So it's
or
literally
even
like I just
even
have to be able to
Zenyatta
see.
throwing a heal orb on somebody is that
Oh,
same kind of view.
Oh,
You
okay,
know
so
what
it's
I mean?
kind of just as long as you see them like halfway across the
For
map,
a
boom. Okay.
second, yeah, yeah. And it's got a little range on it too. There's a couple times where I would hide in a corner, knowing that the enemy team is coming, and they pass me, and I duplicate their DPS, and I just go off, or I duplicate their tank, and I just go off, and they're like, "Oh, what happened?" You know what I mean? Like, she is super fast. Her primary fire, they're probably gonna take that down. Strong as heck, fast as heck. I'm loving it. I haven't really been excited about a DPS character in a long time. Um, I think when I got the hang of Doomfist, I was really hyped about him.
Yeah, that was a while
Um,
back.
yeah, yeah. So I'm really enjoying that right now. But I'm not playing too much else, you know what I'm saying? The Animal Crossing's going well. We finally got 2 stars. We've been moving really slow, me and the lady. But we're
so it
finally at
would
2-star island.
so it
Hmm.
would be I just got 5.
He just got 5 stars. I heard.
Wait, how many stars can you get?
5.
Oh, that's the
Five
max.
star.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, like just
it takes work.
and oh, seriously, like, and here's the problem. They don't tell you exactly what. They'll just broadly say, "Oh, we need more infrastructure. We need more flowers. There's not enough stuff here." And
And
you're
it's
just like,
really you're listening to your villagers' complaints or comments, and
"Yeah."
that's what that's how you get a clue on how to raise your rating. But you have to ask what your rating is, um, and then they give you that
But once
evaluation.
once you do get to 5, are you then able to kind of do whatever you want? Because I've seen some like nonsense islands.
Oh,
You can always do whatever
you
you
can
want.
always do whatever
Yeah.
Oh,
you
and that
want.
doesn't affect your star rating, or is that like a push and pull thing?
It
Like you
can.
doing what you want to do is at odds with what your
What
citizens
so
want to do.
the idea is that since you are everything that you're doing is for the benefit of the island. So any sort of decorating, any sort of taking down these trees and putting up something is to help the island. So you're always doing what you want. You don't have to try to get 5 stars on your island
Yeah.
if you don't want to.
It's just a
You
nice goal to have.
yeah.
To
Because that's the thing that I've been struggling to comprehend with Animal Crossing in general
is
is
what
like
the
the
goal is.
goals. Yeah, like
And
okay, I
that's
get that this is what you do. Like you decorate this, you like customize that,
you make your own goals in this game. Anything that you do moves like there's a huge list of achievements and goals that you can do, and anything that you do forwards at least one of them.
mm,
So it really once you see that, you really say, okay, what do I want to do? You know what? I want to do fishing. I just want to fish. I want to catch something big. All right, and you just lean into that. And it doesn't nobody's like hates you for it. You don't lose out on anything else. You're just fishing.
because at this point, like, and we can probably because this is the last game you were going off of, right?
Yeah,
So we
yeah,
can probably just move on to our next topic, which is
yeah.
about Animal Crossing's latest update. I'll let you guys take the helm on that. But I just wanted to say that I
Yeah.
probably would have bought Animal Crossing by now if it wasn't a $60 game. Like I can't justify that in my head to pay $60
That makes sense.
No.
for what that game is.
That makes sense. I can see it from your perspective. You know what I mean? Did you play the old one
No, I've
on
never
GameCube?
played any of them. Like I've
Then
seen
there we
a lot of them,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
like it just never seemed like my cup of tea.
what I
And I
would
think
recommend. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I think that's why you can't see it as a $60 game. I think for a lot of returning players, this is a lot, and it's good, and it's worth the money. But for a first time player, I don't know. I don't know if I would see myself dropping 60 just getting into the series.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What I would recommend, download Pocket Camp free mobile game.
Right,
I
yeah,
would
that is
say,
a thing.
yeah, I would say, and because then you could just see, is this something that I would spend my time with? And from there, you'll be able to formulate, oh, well, it would be nice if I could make this or just make this. And then 5 hours later, you're making a tarantula island. So there we go.
But speaking of
I'm not sure
tarantula
about that, to be
islands,
honest. But yeah, let's talk more about this update. Animal Crossing New Horizon 1.2 patch update. So finally, this Egg Day stuff is done. No more eggs. This Bunny Day stuff was a lot, and they tried to fix it. They like turned down the frequency of the eggs. It was a lot. Okay. It was good.
are
What?
the eggs ultimately useless? Like, what do you do with the eggs?
You can use them to craft egg-like things. Um, and there's like a whole bunch of things that are like a egg-shaped vanity, a egg-shaped bed, egg-shaped rug. You can make a egg-shaped fence.
Aren't all rugs
like
egg-shaped? Like any oval rug, it's kind of egg-shaped.
Well, I mean, not all rugs. I mean,
well, I mean, yeah, like
yeah,
Hashtag not all rugs.
not all rugs. I mean, I got a square rug right here. But
you know what I meant.
So, yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Yeah. So Bunny Day's over. Now we got this Nature Day stuff coming through. You got the two new NPCs. You got Leaf and you got Red. Leaf opened up that gardening shop. We got shrubbery, y'all. It's different now. And I just put in my little shrubs. Let me see how they pop up in front of my.
You couldn't do that before?
House.
Like you couldn't do
No.
bushes?
You couldn't do bushes. You can do flower patches. You can do many different types of flowers. You can do trees, but you couldn't do bushes up until recently.
Exciting.
It's when you see how creative people get with this, and you've seen.
That is impressive
exciting.
what they end up doing. So like any little thing that's new, I can see someone's gonna figure out a cool thing to do with it. But just on the surface, DLC bushes. That's funny to me.
And it's not just bushes. There's some other things he's going to be selling as well. Now, Red, on the other hand, now these are both returning NPCs from old games as well.
Mm-hmm.
Red is the hustler, your cousin who's always trying to cheat you, but calls you the friend rate. You know what I'm saying? The family rate. That's Red.
That's funny.
He sells furniture and art. Now, this is a cool thing about him selling art, right? He's got like statues, he's got paintings. Sometimes he sells the counterfeit. He sells the counterfeit stuff. And so I was talking to my girl about this because she's the one who talked to him recently, and she showed me some articles online. And apparently, you can tell if it's a counterfeit if you know what the piece of art is. These are actual pieces of art that he's selling, right? So,
well, like from like real life.
From real life. So let's say the Mona Lisa, right? Maybe she's looking the wrong direction.
Oh, wow. That's really cool.
Small like
that's
that.
That's actually really cool.
So once you look at the piece of art in his shop, you have to look and it's like, okay, is this counterfeit or not? Is this gonna be worth the bells or not? Right? And so you pick it up, and then you go to your museum and you get it appraised, and they're like, hey, you got a good one. We're gonna put it up. It's gonna be nice, and it's gonna attract more residents to our island. Or they're gonna say, you got gypped. You could take it.
So like, what do you do with it then if it's fake? Like, can you still
put it up in your house or something, or you throw it away, or you sell it to somebody else for some cheap bells?
You can't go back to Red and be like, hey.
Nope.
Red said, hey. You bought it, fam. No returns.
That's funny.
Right. What is that? Buyer's
remorse?
Yeah.
Or buyer beware.
Buyer beware. It's like, yep, nope, I'm washing my hands of this.
So that's a pretty interesting facet of Red's operation.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah, so they added some more seasonal events that they haven't really introduced, like I said, besides Nature Day, May Day, and Museum Day. And then they tweaked some of the bell rates because people was getting super rich super fast on it was a little cheap, so they kind of balanced some stuff out. They also adjusted the interest rates at the bank. So they lowered it a little bit and they gave everybody a little present, like sorry, and it was okay. But you know what you got to do. So that's
what you gonna do? Stop
basic
playing Animal
notes.
Crossing? Come on.
I mean, look, man, it's turnip day. You gotta watch some turnip prices.
Okay,
There's a lot going on with these turnips.
like we've discussed the market and the website here, right?
Yeah, yeah, we have.
Like
It's yeah,
it's
a lot of
serious.
folks.
It's insidious.
Yep, but that's what we got for the new patch for the Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Cool, but if you thought we were done talking about Animal Crossing, I'm sorry. I apologize
wrong.
deeply. I'm sorry. But we do have another topic.
But wait, there's more.
Gamer, what you got on the more Animal Crossing news?
Well, of course, obviously, I have to let everyone listening know that Animal Crossing New Horizons has sold more digital units in a single month than any console game in history, with the beautiful number of 5 million units.
That's ridiculous.
Now, that is impressive, but I do want to throw in some caveats. They did say digital and console.
Yes.
Right?
Digital units. Yes, it sold more digital units in a single month than any
other console game.
Yeah,
so that includes GTA, right? Like, which broke all the records of everything.
Month.
But still, that's impressive.
Yeah. Oh, most definitely. Definitely.
Like the end. My co-host and I, Ms. Duval, were talking about this as well. The timing of the game's release,
right,
was impeccable.
It could not have been better, just because it's you're not really doing anything, so why don't you do nothing in a game?
Not just that, it's an island getaway.
Like,
and you're getting away from this craziness that we got going on right now with coronavirus and our what do you call it, leader of all of that. Our leaders, plural, actually.
And just to kind of go off with some of the things that you can do in this world. Some people have not only taken the time to like make Shibuya or any of the map from Link to the Past or Pallet Town. Some people are having like actual like get-togethers where it's like, oh, we're gonna go craft some things together on this island, or we're going to have a graduation, or let's all have a picnic, or what have you.
Treasure hunting games. I saw a maze the other day, and people had a race to get through a maze.
Oh, I watched that too. Yeah, that was really cool. Yeah. Like a big obstacle course that they built.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, people have been making some really just fantastic things, and there's like a little joke in some of the people in the Animal Crossing fandom that, you know, Tom Nook just made this all happen because he's just sitting on a pile of bells right now. You know, and it's like this further cements just Nintendo's place in gaming, because Sony
it
and
shows
Microsoft,
how thick that demographic
it is. It's like I'm trying to figure out the best words to say, because I don't want to say that Nintendo is untouchable by any way, shape, or form, but they're in a very good position.
Yeah, like they're in a weirdly comfortable place with everything else that's going on, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's like the one system that everyone's trying to get their hands on is a Switch.
This is true, and there's a little bit more on that later.
Yeah, like it's yes, but yeah, like
I wanted to talk about these
numbers.
Well, yes, but in the sense that, just like Gamer was saying, like it was sort of opportunistic in that way. That when everyone was locked away, Animal Crossing came out, and it was kind of the cool thing to have virtual meetups, and it just so happened that Nintendo finally got. And I don't know how the online multiplayer works in Animal Crossing. I don't know if it's like easy to jump in with one another. I feel like they did kind of put some hurdles in terms of like multiplayer, because they tend to do that all the time.
But I would say they made it safer. they made it significantly safer. And so if you want to get with somebody, you just say, hey, you want to come to my island? Here's the code. Boom.
And so
we can talk more about that, but yeah, what you saying, Sigma?
So, because it's kind of like a fear of missing out type thing now, because so many people have bought it, and then you see all the stuff that, you know, they're doing together, not like necessarily like, okay, this guy made Pallet Town, that's cool for that guy, but I'm not going to do that. But what you could do is you could meet up with your friends and have like a little fake party, because you can't do it in real life, and you keep seeing videos of stuff like that, and that looks really cool. Like, you see people
really pushing it.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Because what else can you do? You can't go see your friends. So this is a cool, cute, trendy way to go do that.
Just like you said, trendy, right? There's lots of people who do not play video games on a regular basis who are now playing Animal Crossing a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
there's a lot of people who had a Switch in their house, like me, and was only using it on Super Smash Sundays and every now and then in between to practice up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Now my Switch is on every single day, between me and my girl.
So this actually kind of flows into the next topic in an interesting way. The fact that everyone being locked in a house is kind of pushing a more digital, social interaction. Fortnite had a really big event this past week. They actually teamed up with Travis Scott.
Yep.
And through a concert that they're calling an astronomical show, 12 million people came out to view this thing.
I was
12 million.
Wait, I'm sorry. Can you repeat that number for me again? I want to
let me be
that
exact.
right in my head. Let me make sure I heard that right in my head.
Exact.
Fam.
12.3 million people gathered. And honestly, these were like the first performances, like the initial performance. 12.3 million people went to see this Travis Scott kind of virtual concert.
And that's not including the people who watched it on stream like myself.
Yeah, or the people who watched the later shows after the fact. Because I watched the very last one. Like, I saw some of it on video, and it was like, you know what? I kind of want to experience this in person because it looks really cool. And honestly, it was dope. Like, I'm not a Travis Scott fan. I'm not a Travis Scott fan. I like that song, Sickle Mode, which is like half Drake.
Yeah, it really is.
But, like, other than that, I'm not a fan of his, but I enjoyed the crap out of that entire experience.
Check this out, right? I'm not a Travis Scott fan, and I'm not a Fortnite fan.
At all.
But that experience, I'm a fan of. It's funny because you guys saw somebody in our chat was like, "Oh, so you guys gonna play Fortnite now?" I was like, "No, I enjoyed that because people were not playing Fortnite." You know, that's what was interesting about it. But I will say, if they do more concerts like that, I can see myself really getting into that. Only because it wasn't a music video. It wasn't just watching him play. You were inside this crazy
it was like
music
this
video.
Weird. Yes. Matter of fact,
that's exactly
they did a concert before with the DJ guy Marshmello, who had like the headgear thing.
Yes. I was just gonna mention that.
Yeah, except that one was like more of a traditional concert. Even though it did happen inside of the game, everyone kind of gathered in front of a stage and then just listened to like the set list.
And he was just sitting there like, yeah.
So I mean, cool. It's a virtual concert, but this was something new. This was something that you can't do anywhere else. This is something that video games make work, which is always a thing that gets my attention. And with something like this, it got me thinking, sure, you could do a virtual concert like this where you basically expand upon it, but why couldn't you do virtual everything? You guys remember Ready Player One?
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Son,
but
I always thought... No, think about it for a second. Bear with me here. Think about it for a second, because I'm gonna write about this. I've already like written an outline.
Okay.
I'm gonna pitch an opinion piece about this. Remember how in Ready Player One, if you've seen that movie, pretty much all franchises everywhere are all in like a singular social network. So you can be an avatar where you're Tracer or a Transformer or a ninja or a boxer or whatever you want. I thought Facebook was going to be that. Like, they were getting into the Oculus, framework. I thought they were going to just push everything to the internet and then we're all already on Facebook. But Facebook doesn't have that core component that Fortnite has, which is being a game. Fortnite is a game.
Yeah.
And what's more is Fortnite is a game that can kind of do anything. Like, what is Fortnite?
And that's what, it's funny. I was thinking about it last night.
It can be anything.
And I hate the game Fortnite, but I like the social community that it's building. Is that weird to say?
Like, cause think about it. Like, how many people play Fortnite? It's a worldwide phenomenon. The number is staggering. It might possibly rival Facebook's like concurrent users on a regular basis. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can use it anywhere, just like Facebook. It's on a phone. It's on your computer. It's on your console.
Yeah.
And all these other brands want a piece of it, so they get involved. You have tie-ins with Star Wars. You have tie-ins with Marvel. You have tie-ins with
everything.
Rappers. With
yeah.
So you can literally be Tracer maybe in the future. You can be a Transformer in the future in Fortnite, but maybe it's not in a Battle Royale mode. Maybe it's in a school simulator where you go and sit in class because you can't go outside because another nuclear missile hit and everything's radioactive. So just like Ready Player One, you put on your VR goggles in the future and you log into Fortnite and you go to school. Or you go to your job because your job is now able to be
automated,
done remotely within Fortnite. Like, this is coming. Like, and this is the horse that carries the future.
You think Fortnite is the horse to the chariot of the future?
After watching this Travis Scott experience, clearly this is not going to be the last one. This was super successful. It was really cool on top of that.
Yeah.
This is only going to continue. There are going to be more people who want to get a piece of this. There's going to be Fortnite who wants to make it a bigger thing. So why not open their platform? They already have the creative mode where you can go in there and just build whatever. You can make your own game types and stuff, right? So why can't you make it just a social hub where you go in there and you just chat with your friends? Like, why can't you make an Animal Crossing simulator in Fortnite? Like, it has building. It has, world building. Like, why couldn't you do that?
Now. Hold on now.
But think about it. Why couldn't you do that?
I know what you're saying.
What you're explaining, Sigma, sounds like the utopia that fell, and then I'm playing the video game that came after that. That is what you are, because I am loving everything you are saying, and I want to tie in what both of you had said before. First of all, people who aren't playing video games tuned into this as well.
Yes.
I am certain. And there's another thing that I want to make sure that we mention. It was free.
Yes, yes. Because if they start charging for that, that's where everything is going to go south.
But that's the thing. They can do this part free, but they did charge for other things, like little decorations, little skins. Like there's a Travis Scott skin, right? Like you can just be Travis Scott, right? I'm sure they charge for that.
Yeah,
like they did.
But that's
with,
cosmetic stuff.
When they did John Wick and when they did Thanos, and all that stuff. But it was $3.99, and I had spoken on this on my with my podcast before. But the fact that there is no barred entry, you can it's like, hey, you can come in and you can enjoy this if you like. Go spend some money on Go spend some money here, but we are giving you this whole huge experience, seeing what we can do for free.
And
why don't you come back?
Because the draw for Epic is to just get everyone into their platform. Like off the back of Fortnite's popularity, they launched the Epic Game Store, which now rivals Steam. So all you got to do is download their client. They have an email address where they can contact you. You're in their ecosystem. That's all they want from you right now. They'll get you somewhere at some point. They'll find something you like, and then you're going to pay money for it. It's just a matter of time.
Do you mean Microsoft?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Do you mean because that's that's because it's like no matter where you are, it's like we're going to get you. We're gonna let you know what's going on. Oh, hey, you already got the Game Pass. Oh, because you got Game Pass, here's Game Pass Ultimate. Oh, you got Game Pass Ultimate. You got an Xbox, you got a PC. Download the app on your phone. We'll let you know when new games are coming in.
Can I say something about that app real quick?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is just more pro connectivity. It's not a huge selling point, but like I lost my remote the other day when I was watching like Netflix. And I just went on my phone and opened up the Xbox app, and I was like, boop, boop, boop. And I controlled everything.
Yeah, it controls the TV.
Volume of my TV. Yeah.
Like when Starboy's in the background over here playing Roblox with the volume super high, sometimes I'll just lower it from here.
Exactly. And it's super easy.
And now you've got and now and like imagine this, right? So we've all seen clips or seen the concert, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I watched the whole thing yesterday.
What if that was in VR?
That's exactly where I'm. That's exactly what
that's exactly what he's saying.
What if that was in
guarantee
VR?
You it's coming.
I would download Fortnite and I would do that. I would truly do that. And I can see where you're coming from, Sigma, because there's no reason that because just like in Minecraft, people in Minecraft have made like GoldenEye 007, like they've made little things like that. If we could make this gaming social hub, because the other part that I want to make sure that we really hit on is A, it was free, and B, people who would never have been interested in Fortnite, but interested in Travis Scott,
right,
now downloaded Fortnite. So
can
now
easily download Fortnite and access that.
Yeah.
That's the thing, how easy it is.
And now Epic has a tiny little hook, just a tiny little hook in that person, because now it's downloaded. Now the game is downloaded. And you could just go in creative mode and just do things. And then you'll see somebody else do something. And then slowly but surely, you're just slowly getting sucked in, where this would just be the new normal. And I am 100% for going to my virtual job, sitting down in my chair, sitting down in my haptic chair, goggles.
Yep.
And I'm going to work as Batman or whatever.
Right, exactly.
Whatever. We can make this happen. And 12 million people. 12 million people.
That is those numbers are massive.
It is. It's I'm not going to say it's the death of like actual like going into concerts, and I know people like going into mosh pits and things like that, but with how easily accessible something like this it makes me so happy that,
and the fact that it offers something new.
Like,
it's not just like going to a virtual concert. It's like a new experience. Like, especially if they do get to the point where it becomes a VR experience, there's not going to be anything comparable.
Exactly. Like, meeting up in person is not going to be amazing after that. Besides whatever physical things you'd enjoy at a concert, right? Now, my biggest question is, though, at what point do we start talking about identity crisis, right? So, for example, everybody knows me as this blue skeleton, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just running around town. That's where I go to work, go to school. I'm a blue skeleton.
Mm-hmm.
When is it unhealthy to just be that person?
That's like,
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's like dystopian.
Yeah,
I get exactly where you're coming from, but yeah, that is gonna be a real thing in the future.
And that's gonna be a lot sooner than you probably think, because there's a lot of people who have that issue right now.
True, that's absolutely true. Like,
so I'm really thinking about like mental health.
Anime profile.
I've had a couple friends on Facebook. I've never seen their actual face. I talk to them. You know, you got boundaries, of course. I talk to them, but they only got anime profile pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they got one type of anime character that they like, and that's that person. Okay, cool.
I'm sure there are studies, because VR is still very new. Like, there's no instance of just someone being fully immersed in VR for like umpteen hours straight, as far as I know. Because I'm positive, if you start living your life in VR, like we're suggesting,
there's gonna be a lot of
people. There's gonna be a lot of disconnects. This is very true.
Yeah,
but you know what?
That's my biggest
We'll cross
concern.
that bridge when we get there. I'm saying get there.
Let's not try to solve that problem here.
I'm saying let's get there. We'll figure it out as we go. Isn't that the American way?
I just think that if we pushing for that, we need to consider that as well.
No, true.
There's
That is
a lot
good point.
of physical and mental health issues that come up out of living virtually.
This is true, and there were movies about it too. What was that? A Bruce Willis movie,
Surrogate. Surrogate.
Yeah, did you watch that?
Good.
I liked it.
That was a good one. I liked it a lot.
So watch Surrogate, everybody.
Yeah,
that's our recommendation.
That's the bottom line.
Watch Ready Player One, watch Surrogate, and then watch Surrogate.
There you
like
go.
the good-ish. Well, actually, Ready Player One is also kind of a dystopian future, right?
It really
So-
is.
Yeah.
Watch Ready
That's what I'm
Player
saying.
One
Like, you
and then
really want to
watch-
live like that?
But honestly, that's today. Today is a dystopian future. Like no one can leave the house.
Oh man.
All right, so we'll move on from that. Gamer, you got some more Nintendo related news for us.
Yo, it's
And
all
it's,
like
and I mean,
Nintendo
it kind of goes into what Blue was talking about, security, identities. So it turns out that 160,000 accounts have been affected by hacking attempts. So anyone who is listening and you have a Nintendo account, enable two-factor right now. You can do it while you are listening, but it is extremely important. And Nintendo has disabled the ability to log into that Nintendo account through your NNID or through your Nintendo Network ID. And people have been buying things like Fortnite V-Bucks.
Of course.
And because all of that information, if you don't have it password protected where it lets you know, you could just continually buy over and over and over and over and over. And we've seen just like with the rise of anything in the media, there will be those hacking attempts and I believe it was the Octopath expansion for Splatoon 2 came out. Nintendo got hit with so many hacking attempts because before the expansion had actually released, people had already had the Octoling skin and the weapons and everything before everybody else, and were fighting in competitive matches.
Wow! I didn't know that.
No! What?
Yeah. So this isn't Nintendo's first time with something like this. Luckily enough, with the way that they've created the Pokemon Sword and Shield, Pokemon Home has not been affected like that, but you do have people still unfortunately hacking. You have people who have made every spot on their island in Animal Crossing a money spot. For those of you who don't know, a money spot is a spot you can dig up, plant money, and you will get 3 times the amount of what you put in will grow into a tree.
For the most part.
So that's them hacking the game, though.
Yes.
But is that through this, like, but through NNID hacking?
Yes, because there are many. First of all, there are many tools that people have used. One of the tools is to use your NNID to connect to a virtual switch on your computer, that way you can read the metadata on the back end and then manipulate it for what actually comes up in front of you. So you're building in so many ways a proxy of, so you're connecting to Nintendo. Nintendo is sending you this information. You're manipulating the information here before it actually gets over into the screen. And because you have to connect to Nintendo Switch Online in order for you to get to the islands and things like that, that's where some of the manipulation is coming from, because you can then manipulate what island you go to, and you can make the island filled with whatever you need, go to the island, do your thing, come back.
Wow.
So that sucks. 100%. Right?
Yeah, identity theft bad.
Yeah, identity theft is bad. Stealing money. Stealing things is bad.
Yeah,
stealing in general is not, a thing.
The only thing, just steal hearts. Be a phantom thief. Steal hearts. Sorry, had to.
What I was gonna say is, one thing that I enjoy about Animal Crossing is that this dude modding out his island has nothing to do with me, and I don't care about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if people are cheating, a lot of people do what we call time traveling, where they change the date on their Switch so they can advance multiple days in one day, right? That has nothing to do with me and my island, and I don't. There's no competition necessarily, so that's what I like about Animal Crossing, is that it doesn't matter what other folks do.
Like, their hacking and modding doesn't spoil your good time.
Not in the slightest.
Which is fair. Like, yeah, in those instances, I don't really mind that much if they want to hack.
Yeah.
But this is like This is people
But,
hacking accounts.
Yeah, this is people hacking. Like,
Most
yeah,
definitely. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, I understand all that other stuff is terrible, but on the lighter side, Animal Crossing, not cool. Do what you want to do, bro.
So
But
I
yeah,
mean,
no,
so
this-
is this ultimately on Nintendo? Like, do they have
Yeah, and
like
that's what I was
bad
gonna say,
security
like-
protocols? Like what? Like, or is it just inevitably hackers are gonna hack? Like,
I would say, me personally, hackers are gonna hack, because if it can be man-made, it can be man-broke. That's the
100%.
that's kind of the thing that I tell people. Like, whenever I'm having any, like with my day job, whenever I'm having any sort of security talk, it's like, under no circumstances are you going to catch everything.
Yeah.
It's significantly in your best effort to be able to minimize the damage that you know is going to occur. Like, we know that something's going to happen. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember when Nintendo first came out. I believe that they had a bug bounty for someone, like, hey, we'll pay someone this much money if they could hack into our code.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
And so it's like, Nintendo knows that it's going to happen. Let's just minimize the damage. So it's like, we have two-factor in right now, to where, it's like, okay, so someone got your password. Let's try to give another step, because unfortunately it's going to happen. They're going to find a way for it to happen. Nintendo is just going to do what they can to minimize the damage and keep it pushing. Let's not have a big, huge thing about it or anything like that, because we don't want people to stop enjoying our product. So we're going to build another safeguard in place so that whatever can happen to you is going to be minimal. We have isolated it.
Hopefully they'll be able to remedy the situation too with a limited amount of cases.
They did say anyone who has been affected will get an email from Nintendo, so definitely check that just in case. Like, anybody who has a Switch and uses, the online functionality and stuff, which, I mean, it's 2020. Why wouldn't you do that? Just double check that you haven't gotten anything from Nintendo. And just like Gamer said, just go ahead and enable two-factor verification anyway.
Yeah, like, and you should be doing that. You should be doing that for everything. This is Mr. Gamer with your online security stuff. Under no circumstances should you be using the exact same password that you used last year. Period. You should not be using this. You should not be using the same password you did last year. Like,
well, I know a couple of us are kind of doing that. That gif where that dude just sitting there, just kind of looking to the side. Yeah, that's me right now.
He's like, at me next time.
At me next time, bro. Don't just put me on blast. You know what I'm saying? Just like on the side.
Okay, but
I got some updates to do.
Continuing on with shady Nintendo news.
Oh my goodness! Topic. Come on.
The Nintendo Switch shortages that a lot of people have been experiencing. They've been kind of out of stock for some time now. Apparently, we've learned that they've been exacerbated by auto-buying bots. So there are people who have built bots that automatically scour the internet for all the retailers who are restocking and immediately buy all those up so that they can then turn a profit at exorbitant fees, like on an eBay or Amazon or whatnot.
Man, it's terrible, ain't it?
Yeah, that really sucks, because a lot of people I was seeing on my Facebook timeline were like, okay, I'm stuck in the house. I'm finally going to go and get a Switch. And then they find out I can't get a Switch.
That happened to my little brother. 100%. He was trying to get one for he and his wife, and they were just 100% sold out.
Yeah, like everywhere. But the thing is, they're reselling them for like double, sometimes like triple the cost.
Not only are they putting it up for that price, they're actually getting those sales.
Yeah, people are buying them. Like
people are buying this stuff
Animal
for like
Crossing
$1,200.
Switch, right? Yeah, the Animal Crossing Edition Switch is going for like super high prices, because that was like, it was going to be rare to begin with, but then they go and buy them all out.
Super rare?
Now Nintendo said that they're going to be manufacturing, I cannot remember the number. I want to say about like an additional 300,000 or something like that. I don't remember. That might be way off. But they said they're trying to manufacture now to like make up for this market shortage. But the bots are still there. Like, they still have the same intention. Like, and I went and looked up the legality of this, because I was curious, like, so can Nintendo do nothing about this? And honestly, no. Like, there's nothing. It's just like, scalping tickets and a lot of. I think there are some regulations, but you can't make it a formal business. But yeah, if you just make a thing that buys everything for you, it's your property. You can do what you want with it.
You really can.
Also, and I had looked into the story when you had mentioned it. The code that's being used for the bot is open source, so it's available to anyone, anywhere, to just be able to use however they want because it's open source.
Right.
It's not illegal. It's immoral.
Right. It's immoral. It's predatory, and it's opportunistic, especially in these times. Like there were all those laws where people were buying up all the toilet paper. What was the law that stopped them from doing that? Because that was, it's something about
it was like a general restriction where you can't buy more than.
But it was because it's a pandemic.
Oh,
yeah, it was because
okay.
Because it was like a thing that people needed during a crisis, and people were hoarding it. There was some, I cannot remember the name of it, but there's a particular law that then applies, and those people got in trouble. Like because of Nintendo Switch, I guess, isn't like an essential item.
Yeah,
for people to hoard
really
that and resell it. Yeah, it's like there's nothing that can be to be done.
I'm gonna say something real quick, and take it how you want.
Oh dear.
But just regarding the way our country acts during this state of emergency, it shows you the flaw in capitalism. Like we cannot care for our people. Our government cannot care for our people when people have to work to live.
Yeah, it's kind of diametrically opposed to just decency.
Like, real quick.
Oh boy.
Mayor Las Vegas was saying some crazy stuff. I'm not going to go too far into that, but if you guys have seen the video, Mayor Las Vegas was saying some crazy stuff on Anderson Cooper. And she's like, yeah, we need to open up all these hotels and casinos and all this stuff. And, you know, as most people with common sense thinking about the coronavirus are like, that's terrible, right? Why would you do that? And I still believe that, but I understand the pressure that she's under because of the way that our society works. They have to make money to stay alive, and they have to work. The people have to work to stay alive, and at the same time, the work is going to be killing them. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not. Our government's not set up to help us.
Yeah, the system that we have right now cannot support us through this.
But to bring it back to what we're talking about, it's capitalistic and opportunistic mentalities, like what we're seeing with these bots, is what makes problems like this. I feel like these people, you see what I'm saying? Like these people saw an opportunity and say, "This is the American way.
Yeah,
buy up what we want, sell it at a crazy high price."
Yep, buy low, sell high,
and the system supports it. Like
exactly,
right? Like
exactly.
They're well within their rights in this system to be that much of a jerk.
We all know that's wrong. That's a terrible thing to do, and our laws are like, "Good on you, bro. That's how it works."
It's like, oh well, he was first, so. And with that being said, we know already that Sony is looking at maybe limited numbers of their next console. What is to stop any of this from happening again when it is launch time?
Yo, forget just Sony. Any console at this point.
Well, I mean, like I keep coming back to, Microsoft has this brand new advantage now where you don't need that physical box to move on to the next gen.
True. So
yes, their new boxes
may
be
run out of stock digitally.
Yeah, so their new boxes will probably be affected by this as well, but I don't feel like it's going to impact them as much as Sony, because Nintendo's feeling the burn in terms of not even being able to sell as much as they could have. Well, they're actually selling out, so I guess Nintendo's fine. Honestly, it's the wider consumer base.
Right.
So, just as a mind share type thing, when you want to buy a PS5 and you already are like, it's like $500. That's a little out of my price range, but you know what? I love Sony. I'm going to do it. But you can't unless you want to pay $1,200. And then it's like, at this point, I don't got no other choice, right? You're going to get a lot of people who just won't go that high. And then they'll end up going elsewhere. Maybe they'll get a Switch. Maybe they'll get an Xbox. Because they can just boot up the PC and play all those games.
Or invest in the PC. But yeah, man, it's rough times right now. And as your average gamers, we just trying to navigate.
Are we
So
considered average gamers?
I would say we can relate to the average gamer.
Okay.
There we go.
I don't know if I can. I spend way too much of the day thinking about only games to really.
I feel like we can relate to them. Like we definitely been there at one point.
Maybe.
Because I mean, this isn't the first time nor the biggest that we heard about this. The NES Classic, where like people were buying all those out ridiculously and selling them for like 2-3 times the price and making money.
Yeah, making all
same
that
thing
money. With amiibos. Remember? Like when those were first a thing, like people trying to hunt down the rare ones and like reselling them for like tons and tons of money. Like,
yep.
Nintendo, people kind of just hone in on their product specifically because they just know that they're a which is why Nintendo never has anything to freaking worry about. Like,
they really don't, because their demographic bracket is so wide. They know that they're gonna get a sale somewhere. People know they're gonna get a sale somewhere,
and they have such iconic
characters,
properties now. It's like the joke, the joke where it's like you will always like there's always going to be a Mario game, be a Zelda game, there's always going to be a Kirby game. Like you're always going to have that. And when people break it down to brass tacks, the games are the same, they're just on upgraded hardware, or they just look a little better. But Nintendo knows that they always have that ace in the hole no matter what. They just got to take these beautiful things that they've made, slap them on another system, like, oh look, we're gonna make Dr. Mario and put it on our mobile device.
I'm still playing that game. That game's good.
Boom. Boom. Exactly. So
I do take a slight issue with saying that it's the same game because they don't really do that much. I mean, sometimes, sure, but Nintendo is probably one of the better innovators in terms of gameplay. Like, even though it's the same face, like, sure, they'll throw Mario on 100 different things, but I do feel like they tend to, more often than not, kind of advance what you do with Mario whenever you do see him.
Okay, so to be more specific, the premises of the games has not changed. How you go to complete your end goal has, and then how detailed that process has changed. I think that's perhaps a better way to put that.
I'll give you that.
Perhaps.
But I think we can basically all come together. Nintendo has absolutely nothing to worry about during any pandemic. At least as it stands right now.
Right, yeah. Right now is the proof.
We mentioned this before. Nintendo specializes in couch co-op, and that's exactly what you need in a quarantine.
Because you ain't going nowhere.
You're not going anywhere.
Some people haven't even left their couch. Stay right there.
No. Yeah.
Well, that's the end of our topics. We do have some questions in the mailbag, but this particular question was so good, we actually want to save it for a special occasion. More about that in the future. But in the meantime, please do us the favor of sending us additional questions to BBETGaming@gmail.com. Remember, you don't have to ask us about just video game stuff, even though that is what this podcast is about. Feel free to ask us weird questions, crazy questions, personal questions, whatnot. If it's not too outlandish and off the wall, we're probably going to answer it on here. Gamer, where can people find you if they're looking for you on the internet?
If people are looking for me, if they're looking at me, hi. If
you're here.
If they're looking for me, I can be found on startbuttonreview.com. You can also hit me up at mr.gamer@startbuttonreview.com. I am on Twitter at SBRMRGAMER. On all social media platforms except Instagram, there is an underscore between SBR and Mr. Gamer. That's Mixer, that's Facebook, Skyrim toilets,
all that.
pacemakers. Yeah, there we go.
What about you?
It's your boy Blue Bones BLUB0NES. Yo, you can find that on Twitter, Instagram, you know what I'm saying? Search me on Facebook, Play with Blue Bones, and if you find me on Mixer or the Xbox, you'll see Blue Bones XB, Wakanda Forever. Real quick, little announcement. Yo, our Discord is going live, y'all. Finally.
Yes,
This
true.
game and I have been doing a lot of work. And you know, Sigma and Jeff have been right there helping us innovate. Guys, our Discord is going public starting today. It's the 26th of April. So
Yes.
you guys jump in here. You get to interact with us on a regular basis. You get to see what games we're playing on and off stream. You know what I'm saying? And actually have a chance to sit in on a lot of our streams and join in too. Just right here, all in one spot. So you'll be able to go to our streams and do !Discord and get the link to that. And we'll also be posting it everywhere too. You know what I'm saying? So definitely jump in, say hi, link up with your boys, and enjoy the fun. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We're hoping to get this popping, bro.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this.
Sigma, where can they find you though?
You can find me on pretty much all social media at Sigma Gears 9. You can find me on Facebook at Sigma and Sun. You can find my 3-minute reviews as well as opinion pieces on escapist.com. The last thing I reviewed, I told you, was The Shattering, which came out a couple days ago, and Cloudpunk should be up before you hear this, hopefully. I don't know exactly the date, because the launch date passed already, but it's going to go up on the site or on the YouTube a little later. But other than that, I want to thank Gamer. I want to thank Blue. We'll see Jeff next time, hopefully. Thanks everyone listening, everyone watching. Really appreciate it. That's going to do it for episode 42 of the BBET GamesCast. Peace. 43. That's the second time I've been able to take. Peace.
Deuces.